If you're watching this, it means a part of you is tired of your own excuses. You might not say it out loud, but deep down you know 2025 didn't go the way you wanted. Maybe it was average, maybe it was chaotic, maybe you kept promising yourself you'd change, but every promise got buried under comfort, fear, or distractions. Now you're standing here looking toward 2026 like it's some magical reset button. Let me tell you the truth. A year doesn't change your life. A calendar doesn't save you. Midnight on January 1 doesn't transform anything. The only thing that changes your life is who you choose to become when no one's watching, when no applause is waiting, when everything in you wants to quit but you refuse. If you want 2026 to be different, then you need to become someone different. Not improved, not slightly better, completely rebuilt. And that starts today. Most people want change without friction. They want success without scars. They want discipline without discomfort. That's why they stay stuck. You talk about wanting a different year, but you're scared of the version of yourself you'll have to let go of. That weak voice inside you doesn't want to die. It wants to pull you back into the same patterns, same habits, same emotional loops that trapped you before. It tells you you're tired. It tells you you're overwhelmed. It tells you other people have it easier. It tells you you're doing enough. And you listen. You sit down when you should get up. You scroll when you should be working. You complain when you should be grinding. You waste your pain instead of using it. That's why your results look the same. Not because life is unfair, but because you keep letting comfort win the battle. If you want 2026 to hit different, you have to become ruthless with your own limitations. Stop waiting for motivation to show up. Stop waiting for people to cheer you. Stop waiting for perfect timing. Perfect timing doesn't exist. You create the moment by acting before you feel ready. Every morning you wake up, you're being tested by your own mind. That voice of weakness wakes up first, tries to grab the wheel, tries to convince you to settle. If you don't fight back, it wins by default. But if you stand up and face it, something inside you shifts. Every hard choice you make rewires your identity, and that identity is the engine of your future. People think discipline is about the gym or waking up early. It's not. Discipline is the story you tell yourself when the world is quiet. It's the conversation inside your own head when you're alone. It's whether you choose to become the problem or the solution. You want a different year? Start telling yourself a different story. You've been through things. Pain, failure, embarrassment, rejection. You've carried burdens that nobody knows about. Some of you are walking around with wounds you never talk about because you think staying silent makes you strong. But real strength is taking all that pain and turning it into ammunition. People ask me how I kept going when I was broken, overweight, weak, and invisible. The truth is simple. I got tired of running from the man in the mirror. I got tired of hiding behind excuses. I got tired of letting my past suffocate my future. So I made a decision to face every demon I had, not with confidence, not with a smile. I did it shaking, sweating, angry, and exhausted. But I did it anyway. That's the difference between who you are and who you want to be. One choice that you repeat across days, weeks, months, until you've earned the right to call yourself unrecognizable. The reason most people won't change in 2026 is because they think change is supposed to feel good. They expect inspiration every day. They want positivity, comfort, support. Let me tell you what real change feels like. It feels like waking up tired but showing up anyway. It feels like doing the work with a broken heart. It feels like pushing through doubt so strong it squeezes the air out of your lungs. It feels like being misunderstood. It feels like letting go of people who keep you small even when you love them. It feels like becoming the villain in stories told by those who never grew. Growth is lonely. Discipline is boring. Sacrifice is uncomfortable. But the life you want is on the other side of all of it. People romanticize the grind. They want the results but not the suffering. They want the mindset but not the battles that build it. Look back at this past year. Count how many times you stayed comfortable when you should have moved. Count how many moments you backed down because it was easier to avoid the discomfort. Count all the times you surrendered to procrastination. All those little choices shaped your reality. So imagine what would happen if you flipped the script. Imagine if every time your mind said, "Not today," you did it anyway. Imagine if you chose action over excuses for 365 days. You'd walk into 2026 like a different creature. This is not about becoming better than anyone else. This is about becoming better than your old self. Winning the war inside your own head is the hardest fight you'll ever face. Most people will lose that war because they never train for it. They let their mind bully them. They let fear dictate their actions. They let their emotions control their discipline. You need to become the one who controls the controls. When fear shows up, you show up harder. When laziness whispers, you smother it with action. When doubt tries to choke your progress, you push through and prove it wrong. That is how you earn a different year. This is the moment where you decide how 2026 is going to go. Not on January 1, not next month, not when you feel like it. Right now. If you want a new life, you need a new standard. Hold yourself to a level that makes your old self uncomfortable. If your habits don't scare you a little, they're not high enough. If your goals don't challenge your limits, they're not real goals. If your routines don't demand effort, they're not routines, they're comforts dressed as productivity. Stop looking at the future as a blessing waiting for you. The future is a battlefield you need to conquer. The person you become is the weapon you enter that battlefield with. Sharpen it every day. Toughen it every day. Strengthen it every day. Because the world doesn't care about your potential. It only cares about your results. And your results are nothing but the reflection of your discipline. If 2025 broke you, let 2026 rebuild you. If last year humbled you, let next year empower you. If last year exposed your weaknesses, let next year expose your strength. If you want 2026 to be different, you need to become the type of person who stops negotiating with weakness. Most people let their mind talk them out of discipline every single morning. They open their eyes and the first thing they do is lose the battle in their head. They hit snooze. They grab their phone, they scroll, they pause, they drift. They let the smallest comfort take control. And that sets the tone for their entire day. You need to break that cycle. You need to become someone who wakes up and immediately does the hard thing. Not because you want to, but because your future demands it. The world is full of people who are talented but soft, smart but undisciplined, capable but inconsistent. You don't want to be one of them. You want to be the person who outworks everyone in the room. You want to be the person who builds discipline so powerful that your emotions don't run your life anymore. Too many people spend their days reacting to problems, reacting to opinions, reacting to fear. When you live that way, you lose control of your story. You need to shift from reactive to proactive. You need to take ownership of everything. Your habits, your failures, your decisions, your pace, your progress. When you own everything, you can change anything. There's a version of you that you haven't met yet. A version so strong, focused, and relentless that your present self wouldn't even recognize them. That version is built through suffering that you refuse to avoid. People look at me now and think I was born with some kind of superhuman drive. They don't see the years where I was overweight, insecure, uneducated, and mentally fragile. I had no confidence, no direction, no discipline. Everything I am now was built through pain that I didn't want but needed. You don't get stronger by wishing for it. You get stronger by facing the storms that break other people. You get stronger by going through things that most people would run from. You get stronger by choosing the path that scares you instead of the path that comforts you. If you want 2026 to be different, you need to raise your threshold for discomfort. If something is hard, do it twice. If something scares you, lean into it. If something challenges your identity, pursue it. Too many people think pressure is a sign they're on the wrong path. Pressure is a sign you're growing. Pressure is a sign you're stepping into a bigger version of yourself. Pressure is proof that you're changing, and that's what you want. When your mind starts screaming, when your body wants to quit, when your emotions get loud, when the world doubts you, that's the moment your transformation is happening. Most people don't make it through that moment. They surrender, they slow down, they retreat. But you're not most people. Stop waiting for someone to save you. Stop whining about how hard it is. Stop complaining about how unfair life feels. You're not a victim of your circumstances. You're a victim of your own mindset. You can't change your past, but you can rewrite the meaning of it. You can't control what other people do, but you can control how you respond. You can't force life to be easy, but you can force yourself to be stronger. Every problem in your life is an invitation to become someone more powerful. Every setback is a chance to develop resilience. Every loss is a lesson carved into your soul. You want a different year? Start appreciating the obstacles. Start thanking the pain. Start seeking the challenge. People often ask me how to stay motivated. Let me break it to you. Motivation is unreliable. Motivation is a spark. It burns out fast. If you build your life on motivation, you'll quit the moment things get hard. What you need is obsession, not obsession with goals, obsession with growth. Obsession with becoming someone who refuses to live life halfway. Obsession with becoming the type of person who never backs down. When you're obsessed with transforming yourself, you don't need motivation. You don't need external validation. You don't need applause. You just show up every day because showing up is who you are now. If the people around you are dragging you down, you need to let them go. You can love someone and still outgrow them. You can care about someone and still realize they don't belong in the next chapter of your life. Not everyone is meant to walk with you into 2026. Some people only understand the old version of you. Some people only like you when you're losing. Some people want you comfortable because your growth threatens their complacency. You need to protect your energy, protect your time, protect your ambition. Surround yourself with people who push you, question you, challenge you, and inspire you. If you can't find those people, be that person for yourself. The truth is simple. Life doesn't get easier, you get stronger. Life doesn't slow down, you speed up. Life doesn't give you shortcuts, you carve your own path. Every version of your future is shaped by the discipline you build today. If you want to wake up in 2026 and feel proud, you need to start stacking wins now. Small wins, daily wins, wins that no one notices but you. Consistency beats intensity, discipline beats talent, persistence beats everything. Your success isn't going to explode overnight. It's going to grow quietly, silently, patiently, while you put in the work when nobody is clapping. If you're serious about changing your life, you need to stop chasing comfort. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. Comfort is the graveyard of ambition. Comfort kills more dreams than failure ever will. The life you want exists outside your comfort zone, and the only way to reach it is by stepping into the unknown. You're stronger than you think. You're capable of more than you know, but you'll never discover it unless you push yourself to the edge. You need to become comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the Goggins mindset. You grind not because it's fun, not because it's easy, but because you refuse to die as the person you were. You want 2026 to be different. Then you need to stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending you're giving your best when deep down you know you're holding back. Stop pretending you don't have time when you know you waste hours every day. Stop pretending you're tired when you haven't even pushed yourself to your true limits. You're not tired. You're untested. You're not overwhelmed. You're undisciplined. Your problem isn't lack of potential. It's lack of honesty. And until you start telling yourself the truth, nothing is going to change. You've been letting your feelings control your future. You feel tired, so you stop. You feel stressed, so you take a break. You feel scared, so you avoid the challenge. You feel insecure, so you shrink your goals. That's how average is built. Feelings are temporary. Discipline is permanent. The strongest people in the world don't feel strong every day. They feel tired, lonely, doubtful, and frustrated just like you. The difference is they don't let those feelings dictate their actions. They show up anyway. They keep going anyway. They push through anyway. And eventually their consistency drowns out their fear. If you want a different year, you need to build a mindset that doesn't crumble under stress. Stress is not your enemy. Stress is the gym for your mind. Pressure is how you build mental muscle. When life hits you, don't retreat. Stand still. Breathe, observe, respond. You think being tough means never breaking. That's wrong. Being tough means breaking and rebuilding stronger every time. Being tough means surviving storms that were designed to destroy you. Being tough means taking hits that would end someone else and still moving forward. That's how you earn resilience. Look at your past. Every time you thought you were done, you made it through. Every time you believed you couldn't handle more, you did. You're still here, you're still standing. That alone proves you're tougher than you give yourself credit for. But survival is not enough. You need to stop surviving and start dominating. Surviving is living life reactive. Dominating is living life intentional. When you dominate your mindset, your habits, your focus, your time, you create momentum that nothing can stop. People talk about wanting success, but they run from the grind required to earn it. They quit after one setback. They complain after one bad day. They drown in self-pity after one failure. That's not how champions are built. Champions build themselves through endless repetition, through boring routines, through painful discipline, through nights where they want to cry, through mornings where they want to sleep, through days where every cell in their body begs them to stop. Champions keep going because they have a mission bigger than excuses. You need to build that mission, a mission that forces you to get out of your own way. A mission that gives your suffering a purpose, a mission that keeps your feet moving when your mind screams at you to quit. For me, that mission was getting out of the prison of my own mind. I knew if I didn't fix my head, the rest of my life would never improve. Your mission might be your health, your family, your dreams, your future. Whatever it is, lock onto it and refuse to let go. If you look at your life today and feel disappointed, good. That disappointment is a gift. It's your wake-up call. It's your fuel, use it. Most people run from discomfort, but discomfort is your teacher. Every moment you feel weak, you're being given a chance to become stronger. Every time you feel scared, you're being tested. Every time you feel like quitting, your future is asking you one question: how bad do you want this? You want to change your life? Then you need to become obsessed with improvement, not perfection. Improvement. Become someone who studies their weaknesses instead of avoiding them. Become someone who wants feedback instead of praise. Become someone who chases difficulty instead of comfort. Improvement requires humility. You need to be humble enough to admit you're not good enough yet, humble enough to recognize your gaps, humble enough to understand that growth never stops. Every day of 2026 can be a win if you decide to dominate your hours. Stop living in chaos. Build structure. Build routine. Build consistency. I don't care if you're busy. I don't care if you're stressed. I don't care if your life is messy. You find a way. You carve out the time. You stop wasting energy on things that don't matter. You cut out distractions that steal your future. Discipline requires sacrifice, and sacrifice requires clarity. You need to know exactly what you want and exactly what you're willing to give up to get it. Most people want a new year but don't want a new lifestyle, and that's why they fail. Change is not something you occasionally commit to. Change is something you live, breathe, and embody. Change requires burning the bridge between who you are and who you used to be. You don't dip your toes into transformation. You dive into it with every part of your being. You don't half commit. You go all in. There will be days where you feel alone. Good, growth is lonely. There will be days where you doubt everything. Good, doubt forces you to strengthen your faith. There will be days where you feel exhausted. Good, exhaustion builds stamina. You need to start seeing challenges as sharpening stones. Everything hard is preparing you for something bigger. Everything painful is shaping you into someone stronger. You want to walk into 2026 powerful. Then you need to walk through the fire now. Don't wait for January. Don't wait for motivation. Don't wait for permission. Start now. Start today. Start with what you have. Start with who you are. And then upgrade relentlessly. You want to be a warrior. Train like one. You want to be unstoppable. Act like it. You want to be proud of yourself. Earn it. If you want 2026 to hit different, you need to build a mindset that outlasts pain. Pain is the doorway to transformation. Pain strips away the lies you tell yourself. Pain exposes your real limits. Pain forces you to confront the parts of yourself that you've been avoiding. Most people treat pain like an enemy, but pain is the most honest teacher you'll ever have. Pain never lies. Pain never sugarcoats. Pain never wastes your time. Pain shows you exactly who you are and exactly what you need to work on. When you avoid pain, you avoid growth. When you numb discomfort, you numb progress. When you run from challenges, you run from the future you keep dreaming about. Stop acting like pain is a sign to quit. Pain is proof that you're in the right place. Pain is proof that you're leveling up. Pain is proof that you're moving beyond your old limits. You need to stop fearing suffering and start using it. Every time you push through something difficult, your mind expands. Your tolerance increases, your confidence grows, and those upgrades become permanent. People keep asking for a new year, but they don't ask for a new mindset. They want better outcomes, but refuse to give up old habits. They want big results, but cling to small routines. They want discipline, but sleepwalk through their days. You want 2026 to be different. Then stop repeating the patterns that destroyed your momentum in 2025. Stop letting procrastination run your schedule. Stop letting fear control your decisions. Stop letting doubt bury your dreams. Stop letting excuses disguise themselves as logic. If you're serious about changing your life, you need to be brutally honest with your own laziness. We all have lazy days, but some people let laziness become their identity. You say you're tired, but you haven't pushed yourself enough to earn that tiredness. You say you don't have time, but you waste more hours than you realize. You say you want change, but you don't want the process. The process is the part nobody talks about. The early mornings, the late nights, the repetition, the discipline, the isolation, the frustration, the failure, the small improvements that nobody notices, the setbacks that punch you in the face, the temptations that call your name. That's where winners are built. If you're watching this, you have something inside you that refuses to settle. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Something inside you knows you're capable of more. Something inside you knows you've been holding back. Something inside you knows you've been wasting your potential. That voice is your calling. And 2026 is the year you answer it. You need to become the kind of person who stops wasting opportunities. You need to become the kind of person who shows up even on broken days. You need to become the kind of person who refuses to let circumstances dictate their standard. Forget motivation. Build identity. The person you become is what carries you through difficulty. When you become someone who doesn't quit, quitting stops being an option. When you become someone who keeps promises to yourself, discipline becomes natural. When you become someone who embraces challenge, difficulty becomes fuel. Identity is the real hack. Identity is the real transformation. Identity is the real power. Don't aim to act disciplined, aim to become disciplined. Don't aim to act strong, aim to become strong. Don't aim to act confident, aim to become confident. When you shift who you are, everything else in your life shifts with you. 2026 is going to test you. Every year does. You can't avoid storms. You can't avoid setbacks. But you can train yourself to withstand them. You can train your mind to stop folding under pressure. You can train your emotions to stop controlling your grind. You can train your body to stop breaking under stress. That's what discipline does. Discipline prepares you for the battles that life throws at you without warning. Discipline sharpens you. It molds you. It toughens you. And the tougher you become, the lighter life feels. You need to stop comparing yourself to people who haven't walked your path. Your journey is your own. Your scars are your own. Your timeline is your own. Stop worrying about who's ahead of you or behind you. Focus on becoming the strongest version of yourself. The version who dominates their mornings. The version who owns their habits. The version who chooses purpose over comfort. The version who doesn't back down from challenges. The version who makes their future self proud every single day. When you walk into 2026, don't walk in as the person you were last year. Walk in as the person you fought to become. Walk in carrying your scars like armor. Walk in with a mindset forged through discipline. Walk in with focus that can't be shaken. Walk in with intensity that the world feels before you even speak. Walk in ready to attack your goals with everything you've got. Walk in like someone who refuses to waste another year sleepwalking. Walk in like someone who's done negotiating with weakness. This year can change everything. Your finances, your health, your relationships, your confidence, your mindset, your identity. But only if you're willing to put yourself in the fire. Only if you're willing to fight the battles inside your own mind. Only if you're willing to do the things you've avoided for years. Only if you're willing to rebuild yourself from the ground up. The truth is simple. No one is coming to save you. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to drag you out of bed. No one is coming to force you to work. This is your fight, your responsibility, your journey. You have everything you need inside you. You just need to stop running from it. The world doesn't owe you anything. But you owe yourself everything. You owe yourself discipline. You owe yourself effort. You owe yourself consistency. You owe yourself the life you keep dreaming about. Stop wasting your potential. Stop wasting your story. Stop wasting your time. If you want 2026 to be different, earn it. Earn it with sacrifice. Earn it with discipline. Earn it with pain. Earn it with persistence. Earn it with resilience. Earn it with the work nobody sees. Earn it with the decisions nobody applauds. Earn it with the grit that separates warriors from quitters. This is your year if you decide it's your year. Not tomorrow, not next month. Right now, the clock is ticking. Your future is waiting. Get up, lock in, stay hard.